All right, welcome back to Diesel Talk. Truck, we've done some repair here, but this one has a few items on it. We did do some fixing, but one thing you're going to learn about these 6.4s, this is a 2008 truck, 2008, shut this thing up, is when I fire up the truck, obviously I got to check engine light, but one of the things we're going to see here is we were in reduced engine power, so I think I got something else going on, but there's your oil low oil pressure indicator. As you can see in the gauges, there is no oil pressure indicator of any kind. So therefore I go on the scan tool too, and there's nothing that tells me anything about the oil pressure. So therefore one of the things that we learned how to do is that Ford, from the 6.0s to the 6.4s and even the 6.7s, use an oil pressure switch. It's called an oil pressure switch. Yes, an oil pressure switch. Meaning that when it reaches about I believe it's 4 to 6 psi of engine oil pressure, the switch will close and the light message will go away. So I just turned the key off. And what I did was I went to the sensor. And one thing you guys got to understand if you're ever doing any kind of repair on these trucks is, first of all, get over here. You're going to see that down here on the 6.4 liter, I'm going to light on it. And what I did was right there, if we can take a close up there, you're going to see my alligator clip I put on it. Turns out that the wire is stripped right there. So I'm going to try to zoom in on it. So two-hand job right there. There you go. So anyways, that wire is stripped right there, as you can see there. So you followed my black jumper wire. And what I did was, well, first of all, let me say what I was going to say was, if you're replacing a sensor, because obviously we do need a sensor here, and that's the sensor right there on the side of the air filter, that's the cap right there, is that you need to always change the pigtails. Pigtails are variable from Ford on this, so therefore you replace the pigtail and the sensor. But just to make sure, because I know it's not, the oil pressure is gone, or else this engine would be knocking, but what I did is on the bare wires that were there, I went ahead and put my alligator clip here and the other side of the alligator clip over here to ground. So we're going to go over here to ground. Sorry, I'm trying to do a one-hand job here. So therefore, put that alligator clip there, and that wire is going all the way over to the sensor. So the oil pressure switch grounds when it sees oil pressure on any 6.0, 6.4, and 6.7 Powerstroke. So let's go and move on over to the truck again. Let's turn the key on. And let's see if that little oil message goes away with the jumper on, with the sensor grounded. That'll tell me if the sensor's bad, but like I said, we also need a pigtail, so I'm not gonna mess around here. And on any of these trucks, I do the pigtail and the sensor. So we fire it up. Yes, we gotta check engine light. And let's see, we have a oil pressure message or not. Waiting. See, there's no more oil pressure symbol anymore. So that means it thinks that by me grounding the wire that we all have engine oil pressure now at this point. So there you go. Now this truck also has other issues, like I don't know what they did. They changed the oil in it and the oil level is high. So it's about 2 quarts over. No, it's not because of regen, it's because this truck has been deleted. No, I did not do the delete. This has been deleted. So it's 2 quarts to 2.5 quarts over. So that's one problem. And the other problem that I'm paying attention to, which we're going to need to run it for a while, is first of all, I'm going to look at engine oil temp and engine coolant temp, and it has a correlation code, meaning that the oil temp went way over, which people call the delta. But in this case, there's your engine oil temp, and there's your engine coolant temp, 185, 183, pretty close to each other. But the question is, what's it doing under load? So if it sees roughly 20 degrees, 19 to 20 degree variance, it will turn on the wrench light here. And it will actually tell me that, you know, we got a engine oil cooler that's probably restricted, partially restricted. But right now, it all is looking good right now. They're almost identical to each other, but we're gonna have to run it for a little bit and see what happens. But a quick note, maybe this is out of subject here, but the engine oil cooler, I don't do them on 6.4s anymore. I do the bulletproof diesels relocation kit on these 6.4s, where it puts the cooler underneath the master cylinder, because if there is enough contamination in the coolant to clog the cooler again, that's a hell of a lot of labor. We're talking about 16, 18 hours of labor. So no, I don't do them anymore that way. I use the bulletproof bulletproof diesels oil cooler relocation kit. So all right, there you go.